seems every time there's adversity in your life, you respond so much so. You had trouble in school, with your marks, not having any money, not having your parents around. They didn't appreciate you when you got to Orlando. You're always trying to prove people. Is that what you're trying to do, that you are the man?
I think I try to go through life proving that I belong. No matter where it's at, off the floor, on the floor. A lot of people say I don't have to do that, but it's just my will and just my attitude that I have to prove that I can do whatever somebody tells me that I can't do.
With the third pick in the 1993 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Anthony Hardaway from Memphis State University.
A wonderful moment for Anthony Hardaway.
I'm not sure. I don't know if the league really knew what they were getting when they got Penny.
100 pounds from Memphis State.
He was something new.
New perspective, right? It was just like the league was turning. And then Penny came, he was almost like, he was like a phenomenon. Smooth, flare, flash. Little Penny, the shoes.
Call these shoes anyway.
Penny. Gotta have the whole swag.
I guess you're going for the big numbers tonight, huh?
Everything was just a fresh new approach. It was different than Jordan.
We've never really seen anyone else with his height handle the ball, play point guard, be that quick. Well, if you're a basketball fan and you don't know who Penny Hardaway is, I won't waste my breath telling you because you're not a basketball fan.
Binghamton is definitely not the suburbs. It's kind of a lower class neighborhood where there's a lot of hard-working people grinding every day to make ends meet. They made me who I am. The city of Memphis made me who I am. When you grow up in a neighborhood, anyone will tell you have so many different challenges.
It's grit grind here. You earn everything you have, and it's not a glamorous city. People have always been together. They go to church together. They stick together.
This area, very, very unusual area. The people here will look out for one another throughout their existence in Binghamton. But all neighborhoods have some negative things about them. And you would probably not be truthful if you said that they don't exist. They do exist.
You get what you get when you out here. Everybody got the same goal to make it out.
Everybody trying to make it somewhere. Even from the little kids. These little kids out here trying to grind too.
I love my neighborhood. Nobody can never tell me nothing wrong about it. I'm proud to be here. It's a family.
I was 5 years old when my mom dropped me off at my grandmother's. She wasn't easy to live with. She was very strict, but the strictness came out of love. I take everything that I know about being respectful, working hard. I learned that from my grandmother. My grandmother had gotten me a basketball, probably like 6 years old, and I just started dribbling it and fell in love with it. It saved my life. Because there was so much negatives that I could have gotten into. That's what you have in the neighborhood all day long. Playing sports or being in the game. That was it. I felt like I had to lock in because if I slipped a little bit, it could have meant that I could have gotten killed, I could have gone to jail.
He had enough smarts to know that that wasn't his destiny. But one of the things that I appreciate about Penny is that not only did he stay clear of them, but he also pulled other people away from those negative areas also.
Me and a couple other buddies, we found basketball to be better for us to bond with because we didn't want to steal cars, bikes, rob people. We didn't want to go down that road.
It's my personal opinion that if you give kids opportunities, if you provide them with encouragement, opportunities to be mentored, quality schools and good teachers, And I've seen it happen countless times that they rise to the occasion every time. It's unstoppable.
I knew at 12 I had the gift to play really well and that I had the opportunity to make it to the NBA. I could put people in place and then maneuver with my eyes what I thought those players were doing while I was making my move. The cuts, what move I needed to make to get around this guy. For reading the defense, was he gonna help or not help? And then when I went into play, it just came natural for me to see those same things.
We got in the 9th grade. I was a senior in high school. We just worked together and helped us win a lot of games.
Senior, number 25, Anthony Hardaway.
Man, you can spot him out of 100 people and know he's going to be great.
The way he moved around the court, the decisions he made, and realized this guy has something very special.
When he left here and went to the University of Memphis, I knew it was just a matter of time.
This is really where you like to see Hardaway get involved. Thank you. Right on cue.
I chose Memphis because of the history of the school, especially the 80s. The teams with Andre Turner, William Burford, Keith Lee. These are names of Memphis history. Those teams were electric. The pride that's in the city of Memphis, was instilled in me, and I wanted to stay home and make a difference. Back then, Memphis guys stayed home.
During Anthony's collegiate career, Penny guided the Tigers to a 42-23 record, 8 wins over nationally ranked teams, recorded the school's first ever triple-doubles, became the 10th leading all-time scorer, and set numerous other records in just 66 games played.
Anthony Hardaway, greatest player in the history of Memphis State.
I'm talking about somebody who can do it all. Pass it, shoot it, rebound, that's him.
Talk about the decision to come out early, to forego the senior year. A tough decision for you?
Pretty much, because I really didn't want to leave Memphis State. Memphis State has been very good to me, the fans, the crowds, and also my family is there. But I had to make a decision on whether it was time for me to leave because of my grandmother, and my mom. Neither one of them are getting any younger. So I want to repay them for what they've done for me, all my life. I think I want to excel in all areas, the passing, the rebounding, the shooting percentage, the free throws, the defense. I think I'm going to work hard at all of them. Even if people tell me I'm doing good, I still want to work harder to be the best. That's the one thing that I like about Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Magic. All those guys have the will to win, and you have to work hard to do it. They just didn't stop by letting people say, hey, you're good. You want to be better than good. You want to be the best. That's what I'm trying to do. Going from the neighborhood to the university, and now you're saying, okay, I'm leaving all of this to be in the NBA. What more could I have asked for? The movie Blue Chips was really what took me over the hump because I got a chance to play basketball with Shaquille O'Neal every day. Shaquille O'Neal was megastar, was the #1 pick in the draft the year before, tearing down backboards in the NBA, all-star in his first year. He was like the league at the time.
There's nothing good on TV.
The beauty of the movie set was the director allowed us to play real basketball, and all I did was just pass him the ball every single time. I didn't even try to shoot. To let him know, hey man, this is what I'm gonna do for you if I make it to the NBA and I play for your team.
I had no idea who he was until the summer before he got drafted. So we get over to the gym. I'm trying to really focus on playing and stay in shape. And this guy was just making the most beautifulest passes ever. And finally, after the third day, I said, who is this guy? And they said, that's Penny Hardaway. He went to Memphis. He's projected to go number 3. And then a couple weeks later, I found out Orlando gets the ball.
The first pick in the 1993 NBA draft goes to the Orlando Magic.
This is in the category of go figure. 1 ball out of 66, and they get the #1 pick.
Called general manager of Orlando Magic, John Gabriel. I said, listen, there's a guy. His name is Penny Hardaway. I'm thinking young Magic Johnson, young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You got to get this guy, Penny Hardaway. And he gave me I don't know, boom, boom, boom. And then finally I said, hey, you don't get me what I want. When my deal is up, I'm going to be looking to do other stuff.
Draft day, I'm hearing the rumblings of there's going to be a trade, maybe. I see another TV anchor from Orlando go, if you get chosen by Golden State, you're going to get traded back to Orlando.
Also some talk of some shuffling right up at the top of the draft.
Me and Penny would become good friends. I get home, they draft C-Web.
Orlando Magic select Chris Webber.
I go crazy, tear my house up, bust a couple windows. This mother, he disrespected me, boom, boom, boom. I'm actually thinking about calling and say, hey, I want to be traded right now. So then after I calm down, I see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
And lo and behold, it happens. I knew I had left enough of an impression with Orlando, and then I was with Shaq all summer. So I was leaning more towards that it was going to happen, but you never know until it happens.
For Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber.
When it happened, I was so happy. I mean, it's not like I didn't want to go to Golden State. I just wanted to be with Shaq in Orlando.
Hardaway.
I knew that was going to be the best chance for me to win championships.
I totally understood and told friends that if I was Orlando, I would draft Penny. To me, they were going to be the second coming.
I knew when he came, I knew it was going to be magic, and it was instant magic between me and him.
First game, I'm in the locker room in an Orlando Magic uniform, and I'm looking across at Shaq like, man, I made it. I'm here. Now it's time to go show the world what I'm made of.
This is a young man that really has the complete
package. 2 or 3 positions.
Explosive, under control. Very talented player. Obviously,
going to
see him do some spectacular.
Of a young Magic
Johnson. Get
Johnson.
better and better and better. All he wants to do is play basketball.
Nice looking move for the rookie who soared in and gets his first NBA field goal.
He gets in and does it right off the bat. And all the teammates love him because, you know, if you ran hard and got to your spot, he was going to hit you. I won the ball all the time, right? But got to give it to Nick. Got to get 3D, got to get his shots. So he was really good at that. And then, like, if guys wasn't, you know, hitting their shots or whatever, then he'd say, move. Let me go to work.
You had to honor Penny from shooting the 3, D. Scott in the corner, Nick Anderson on the other side. And if you didn't honor that, they were going to get wide open shots. And if you did honor it, Shaq was going to break the rim on your ass.
I got to worry about one person in our conference. That's the mighty Michael. Guess what? Mike, Scotty, Phil Jackson, we ain't scared. We coming.
The Orlando Magic's universally regarded as the NBA's team of the future.
You know, me and him, we put a hell of a team together.
We had an understanding in the beginning that if both of us come out and play our games every single night, it's going to be tough for people to stop us. In just my second year in the league, we ran through everybody. There'll be some really good teams that year.
And will have the home court advantage throughout the Eastern Conference.
Boston Celtics, we felt like that was a series we should have won. To win in that building 2 times in a row, that's history.
Second round, we got the mighty Chicago Bulls.
Go on to the next series and beat the Bulls. That's humongous. We were the last team, but not the only team, to beat Michael Jordan in the playoff.
You know what? Cherry on the Sunday.
Now we can't have a letdown playing the Pacers because we just beat the Bulls. So we had a 7-game series against the Pacers. Made it tougher on ourselves than we should have, and ended up winning and blowing them out in Game 7. Get all the way to the finals. To go through those 3 rounds the way that we did to get into the finals, we had so much confidence.
After you beat Mike and Scotty, you think you won a championship already. We were celebrating, we were partying, we had 10 days off. We knew we either had to play Houston or somebody, but we used to kill the West. So, like Houston, I think we beat them that year. So, don't matter who you come, we're going to beat them. We was just so happy.
Welcome to the 1995 NBA Finals.
32-year-old Olajuwon is the NBA's best player. His team, it's defending champion.
Yo, they don't think they respect us either, yo. Let's show what's up. Let's show them what's up.
Olajuwon.
I think it was game 1. Game 1 where, you know, we were up. We got cute.
We had them down early and didn't go ahead and seal the deal and let them hang around too long.
Consecutive rejection. They came back. Smith for 3. And even though they came back, we got a chance to finish it.
And a 3-point lead. Houston must foul right here. Now the foul call with 10.5 seconds to go. Nick Anderson making his
First appearance at the line. Usually
he has the 2 free throws. I'm knowing that he's going to make one.
This season, particularly in fourth quarters. Today, though, Orlando 12 of 15 at the line. And Anderson missing out.
He missed both, but got his own rebound and got fouled again.
Draws the foul. 7 7/10 remaining.
Gets the rebound. All right, that's cool. Need one of these, though.
Anderson will shoot 2 more.
Now he misses the third. I put my head down, like, come on, Nick. You know, you can make one.
Penny Hardaway can't even look because he knows Nick is struggling.
Misses 4 straight.
And if he had just made one of those, it would have given the Magic a hammerlock on this game.
And from that point on, it went downhill.
He's tied the game at 1.
They came back and beat us in overtime.
6/10 seconds.
Not blaming on him, it's all our fault, but I just think if he could have hit one of those shots, we'd have won and we'd have been like, okay.
It was just the momentum of the whole entire series that just went their way. We knew that we were supposed to win those games. We win game 1, the series is over in our minds. Lose game 1, momentum left, and the series was over for us. They swept the entire series. In a weird way, it was the beginning of the end. They warned us before coming to the finals about, you can't do it right off, and, we really didn't believe it, and, the Houston Rockets proved us wrong. We're back the next season, numbers are good. I think the first part of the year I led the NBA in scoring. Shaq was injured, and I kind of just took over the game.
Hardaway, who has been the man in the absence, shows you why.
So many different companies calling on a daily basis, hey, we want Penny to endorse our product, and doing All-Star games and being first team All-NBA. Man, that was a dream. That was like a really good ride. It was just an amazing feeling for me to be the guy in the NBA at that time. Had the Little Penny commercials rolling. I had my own sneaker.
You're the best player in the NBA. I mean, those spin moves and the dunks. Oh, 2 delicious. I had to go outside and do some Tai Chi just to calm myself down.
Man, you weren't having a party. I was on pretty much every commercial that you turn the channel, my commercial was on. And that's a fact. I'm just living a dream. Now, the media is making me the guy over Shaq. Trying to kind of put us against each other.
Now you got 2 stars in a small town. And I love Little Penny, but, I wanted to mess with him because we just mess with him. So one Super Bowl spot, I was doing a Reebok ad.
This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
And I don't think he liked that. He didn't talk to me for about 2 weeks.
I think in '96, that's when it really started to hit hard.
Some disharmony, possibly. Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway.
There is some jealousy and some competition over endorsements.
What is your gut telling you about Shaquille O'Neal and whether to stay in Orlando or go to the West?
Orlando has come out and said, we are only going to offer X amount of dollars. Can someone else, mainly out on the West Coast, can they answer and pay the young man more? Who knows? I mean, it's a tough call.
I think our only problem around contract time was miscommunication. We were close, never had an argument, never had a fight. It's just that when I was renegotiating, I felt that, he didn't stick up for me the way I stuck up for him. So when it was time for me to get my new money, nobody was around. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to do something different.
At the Olympics in Atlanta, one of the media guys asked me, how does it feel not to have Shaq as a teammate anymore? And I thought he asked the question wrong. And I was like, well, if that happens, that would be devastating.
Place in Atlanta.
But he had already signed with the Lakers.
Expected to announce that he has signed a 7-year, $120 million contract to join the LA Lakers.
When you're young and you got a whole bunch of stuff going on, you got a whole bunch of money coming in, when you have that power, it's 2 things you can do. You can listen to people or you could make your own decisions. And so at that time, I was doing what I wanted to do and I was doing it my way and I wasn't listening to anybody.
If you have any questions, I'm here.
That summer, man, I was like, wow, it's over in Orlando. You lose a guy of that magnitude, too hard to come back from that. It was a challenge that I accepted. It wasn't like I was saying, hey, man, I'm going to quit. I went out there and gave it my all.
Are you set up for the future, though?
I think we are. Hopefully we won't have any injuries. I pray to God we won't, but you never know.
What has transpired, Jack, as we take a look. Penny Hardaway
hobbles over toward that Magic bench. He may have banged his knee.
Well, you're going to see Penny Hardaway maybe get a knee to the back of the thigh right there.
I went up for a rebound, and he slammed right into the back of my knee. It's the worst pain. He hit me perfectly right as I was about to extend the jump. It's like he hit a bone in the back of my knee, and I never felt the same. I went into the summer with that injury. I said, you know what, I got to get my knee checked out. And I had a torn meniscus. And that's when everything started to go downhill.
Unfortunately, in this game, you know, our greatest kryptonite is injuries.
Right now, it's day to day. Hurt my calf.
I think when I left and he had to do a little bit more and put a lot of strain on his body. You know, he had to go on the post more, he had to bang more.
It's the playoffs. The wrist will be taped today, but after the season is over...
There's always a sense of, just fear. Fear of not knowing how much of the capacity you could get back.
In Orlando, it got to a point where they just were fed up. They were like, you're faking injuries or you're staying injured too much. We're not going to give you the max contract. And I felt like I had earned that. I'll never forget Doc Rivers coming in and telling me, we're going to have to go around and sell people on liking me again. I didn't like that at all. And Phoenix was calling and saying, okay, we'll give you the max contract. And I chose Phoenix over Orlando. Go to Phoenix, have a great first year there, and I tear my meniscus again. But I just kept getting cortisone shots in my knee, and I played every game. Even if you could get a cortisone shot and play a game, after the game you can barely walk. It used to take me 15 minutes to get out of my car, just straighten my left leg out. Mentally I was gone because I was like, I can't overcome these knee injuries.
Him averaging 10, maybe where that's good enough for a lot of other guys. Penny Hardaway doesn't average 10 points, and so he had rearranged his game to deal with his knee injuries, and he had been so spectacular before, maybe people couldn't accept the new Penny.
I wasn't explosive. I couldn't run the same. My gait changed. Wasn't making all-star games anymore. I say for me it was disappointing, because I wasn't getting the respect that I once had gotten.
Hardaway on the bench.
I went from being first team All-NBA to probably third team, and then after that, just off the map. I get traded from the Suns to the Knicks, try to salvage some type of career.
Penny comes right across, that ankle just rolls over.
Then went to the Miami Heat, like a year later, made that team, made the starting lineup. After that, I went back, tried out for a couple other teams. Nobody really took me seriously after that, though. It was like my name had already gone down, and I don't think anybody wanted to deal with it anymore.
Like he was gonna set all type of records there, and poof, he was gone.
Legacy means a lot. I didn't know how big the word legacy was until an older gentleman, his name is David Porter, started saying you need to lay a foundation to leave a legacy. Coming from the NBA, made millions of dollars, was first team All-NBA, dream team, Olympic gold medalist. One of my goals was definitely to win an NBA championship. I wanted that so badly that I never got. But that's just what, it was God's plan. I got a phone call saying that Desmond was in the hospital, and he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and they had given him 24 hours to live. I met Des when we were in elementary school, really. He had this, charismatic attitude. He was always had energy.
Little guy with a big heart. That's what he was.
Desmond down here in a little bit of frame, and Penny way up there. That was different in their sizes, yeah. But they both had giant hearts.
He didn't think anybody in the world could stop him on the court. We kind of competed against each other at the park, and that's how we kind of started being friends. Get formed on the court.
Des and Penny had such a love for basketball. From them being around each other so much and them talking basketball day in, day out, they just got this bond together. And I really feel it came from the love of basketball.
We hadn't connected in like maybe 3 or 4 years. You know, it just seems like life flashes. It flashed right in front of my eyes. Like, man, I took it back to when we were growing up, to me going to the NBA and seeing him periodically, now seeing him on his deathbed. It's hard to describe because you just don't foresee that as a young man. He said God told him to write down my logo on a napkin and say, this is the person who I need right now more than anybody. You know, we prayed, we talked about a lot of stuff, but he was mainly talking about his basketball team.
Des has always loved basketball and children. It wasn't about the winning, it was about them working together, playing hard, having fun, and you pick up some skills.
I met Coach Des when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. He was like the superstar of the neighborhood all the time. When you see Coach Des, you like, hey, Coach Des, what's up, Coach Des? That was the neighborhood guy, the guy that everybody always wanted to be around or even play for.
I think about him even now. There were times that he needed gas money to take some of the players that stayed not close to the center, but in the surrounding area because he didn't want them walking the streets.
Desmond used to ride around in a little Saturn, and he had 15 players, but Desmond was gonna get those children to and from them games. They was Desmond's life. Desmond loved people. That's why it's hard. He has such a huge heart.
To be able to play under Coach Des, it changed my life because Coach Des installed my heart, installed my passion for the game and my toughness.
He got out of the hospital, started doing chemo, but kept coaching. Des introduced me to the kids and saying, hey, can you come to practice? Went to practice the next day, and that was the first day on the job. I didn't know that, but Des knew that. It went from there. The days that he went to chemo, as you can imagine, he was just zapped from energy. He was really supposed to be at home, but he was in the gym. He didn't miss a game. He didn't miss a practice. He did it for the love of the kids. The chemo was just too much for him to sit on the bench and to make every practice. So that's when I started helping him.
I was in the 6th grade. Coach Penny came in to try to help Coach Des coach the kids and just be a helping hand to his friend. He ended up coaching us and fell in love with our games and our personalities and us as human beings. And ever since then, he just kept coming back every day and every day.
This community is all we have. This community care about Lester. We care about the community. We can go around here acting crazy, and we let not only ourselves down, our family down, and our community down. Dad started talking about vision, about where we wanted to go. He was always big on wanting to win championships and could never get over the hump. And he felt like I could take him over the hump. And me and him talked one night, and he was like, we'll win 3 championships with Lester. We'll go and win 4 championships with East, and then we'll go on to Memphis and then win a championship in Memphis for the city. That's just how Desmond dreamed.
I think that Des is possibly the only one that could have pulled Penny out of the business sector into the coaching sector. And, once Penny found out that Desmond needed him, he had no problem in joining Desmond.
I don't come here a lot. Maybe birthday, but I don't frequent here. But I'm talking to Des all the time. It was on a Sunday. I was just leaving church. The nurse said there wasn't much longer that he was gonna have. And when I walked into the room, I just remember he was just breathing so hard, trying to gasp for air. And the caretaker was like, Penny is here. And he said, I love you. And then I told him I love him back. And then I couldn't hold it. Just to see him trying to hold on And it seemed like 10 minutes after he said that, he passed away. When we were growing up, man, we just had dreams as kids. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. Basketball brought us together. Basketball still has us together now. Dez and I invested so much into the community because we saw these little boys as being us. We walked through the neighborhood, we walked the same halls. They were faced with the same adversities that we were faced with, and we were just trying to give them an easier path. We wanted to do that because we felt like that's what was right. Trying to help them become better people, better students, better basketball players.
Honestly, it felt great to have a person like him in my corner, and I know that's going to have my back.
I came when he was in 6th grade, Alex Lomax. He was the one that gravitated towards us most, and we just kind of grabbed him under our wing.
Coach Dez and Coach Penny made me who I am today, and I know for 100% fact, without them, I wouldn't even be as good of a basketball player or person as I am now.
Dez still inspires me because I knew what his vision was. It was his legacy that he left behind of loving kids and giving back. It was his heart and passion that brought me back to the neighborhood to start doing this. And I'm just keeping it going. He was there for all the Lester championships, and he cried out to everyone because he was so joyous about wanting that for the neighborhood. After Dez passed, we won 2 championships with East. And we're on pace for a 3rd championship in a row.
The Memphis East Mustangs, the number 6 team ranked in the country. Head coach is Anthony Penny Hardaway.
As soon as you step foot on the court, it's game time.
Y'all need to lock in. We in playoff time. You lose, you go home. You can't prove it to us in practice. Can't be waiting on you.
Anything can happen on any given night. Do not let complacency set in.
It's more than teammates. We're a brotherhood. Coach Dez and Coach Penny installed that in us.
It wasn't promised for us to get back to the state tournament. We just need to seal the deal on the 3rd one in a row. For the school, for the neighborhood, for the city. Everything that Dez had said up to this point has come true. That has become my life's purpose. I've put everything else to the side to carry out this vision and these dreams that we had. Let's get the 3rd one in a row and make history.
Live from the Murphy Center on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, we welcome you to maybe one of the most highly anticipated state quarterfinal matchups.
Aware of the shooters at all times, aware of the players and the cops. You know your man gonna set a screen for somebody to come off on top, so you gotta be aware all games. Nobody fall asleep. Man, let's go kill him. Kill him. Dominate, man. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Behind, nice steal. Here comes Lomax. Down the floor, scoops and scores.
They're dancing with each other now, Chris.
Putting the pressure on. Rebound, putback, good, counted, and the foul.
Stay up, go!
Lob underneath.
Ryan,
and this Memphis East suffocating defense. They're just nowhere to go.
Protect the ball, man. We got timeouts. Come on now.
Raining threes at the Murphy Center.
And that'll do it. They punch their ticket to the state semifinals. Bearden isn't going to let East have this game without a fight. Ball goes into the lane and battling underneath. Wow! Little showtime. Now a tie-up underneath.
No, they can't guard nobody out here. Let's go back to the Magic, and you got to dominate.
And now here comes East. He lays it up and in. What a talented group this is.
Penny, if you'd had talks with the University of Memphis about becoming the next Tiger head basketball coach?
I can't, because I'm with East right now.
Smith was officially relieved of his duties as the head basketball coach at Memphis.
So are you still the head coach?
No. So, but I'll be making a statement.
Anthony Penny Hardaway does take over.
When there's all that noise out there like that, how do you keep these guys focused on the task?
I've always stayed focused because I'm here now. I'm with these guys. I'm fully invested. I'm all in with them. They know what I'm about. I want this third gold ball. I'm not focusing on anything else outside of that.
We're going against Whitehaven, I think, for the 5th time this season. What's that going to be like, especially, going for a gold ball?
It's going to be a dog fight, man. Playing those guys every time, they take us to the max. We have to play an almost perfect game because they're so good defensively. The similarities are just the toughness. The kids are from the inner city. They grew up playing together, AAU. They know each other's games. We know their game. They know our games. And it becomes a chess match. 3 years ago when we won in the semifinals, we had to play against a Memphis team, which is Cordova. You don't get a shoot-around because the game is the next day. So we found a local YMCA to go to, do our shoot-around, put the game plan in, and then finish the rest of our day. Most teams, they wouldn't go today after they played. They'll just go back to the hotel and rest. But I just believed in just putting the game plan in. Right now, as a team that we played 5 times, we know them. They're adjusting every game defensively and making some changes. And we got to make a couple more tweaks to make it easier for our guys for tomorrow's game.
He's been coached from day one. Always knew what the defense was going to do. He had the other team's plays memorized. He was our second, third assistant coach. Coach would call a play, but no, we're not going to do that. You do this and boom, bang, boom, boom. He always had that ability since day one.
Say they make adjustments to it and they start taking Chandler. It's not going to matter because it's Alvin. So when we do this, it's dead serious. We're not in here just for the fun of it. We get in the game, we got to kick in and do it. We just have to. If y'all are desperate enough to win. And I ask y'all, were y'all desperate enough to win? Desmond and I used to talk pretty much all day long the day before a big game to put the game plan together. In the championship, we really want to wear black. Desmond was big on, he loved black. That's why we started getting the black uniforms. Those aren't the school colors, but we're still doing it for him. Big game today. We're gonna go out and take care of business.
And now the starting lineup for today's championship game for Memphis East.
Don't overlook this team because we won 4 times in a row. Go out there and play your heart out. We got to play them like we've never seen them before. We got to go all out.
Rebound there for Alex Lomax. Ahead, behind the back. What a move inside and the slam. James Wiseman with 4 points. Harwell's shot is blocked. Nice play by Jones. Defense is the name of the game for Whitehaven, and they have shown it this week.
They ain't gonna make no run on us, man. This is for the state championship, man.
Fast-paced game.
Time out! Time out!
This place has been buzzing all week.
3 in a row. We ain't giving up nothing else easy. And ain't no foul. How bad do you want it?
All of the accolades, the previous championships, the hype. All smiles on the Memphis East bench as they lead by 17, which is the largest lead of the afternoon. They've got back-to-back-to-back state champions in AAA, the Memphis East Mustangs on top.
And the emotions flowing for Anthony Hardaway. This group has meant so much to him. He has seen these boys grow up into young men. He coached them in Leicester Middle School and has seen it through, where one of his best friends growing up, Desmond Merriweather, who passed away way too early at the age of 41 from colon cancer, predicted this would happen. They wanted to coach together at Leicester Middle School and win state titles there, go on to high school and do it. And that prediction still holds true for Penny's great friend.
Being back in Binghamton is kind of like a double calling because you're doing something you love to do. And that's teaching basketball and coaching basketball, but you're doing it in a community that you grew up in. When you learn, you teach. When you get, you give. It's easy to give your resources. So you make a lot of money, you can write a check, you can give to charity, you can give to your school. But the most precious thing that God gives you is your time. It's the one thing in this world you can never get back. So how you spend that time says a lot more about you, what you advocate for, what you do, who you pour into, how you pour into them. The young guys that he's teaching, they're learning the most valuable lesson that they can learn. What it takes to win.
And of course, something that has been polarizing the city of Memphis over the last week, the head coaching situation at the University of Memphis. The top candidate to take his job is Penny Hardaway. Can Penny Hardaway save Memphis basketball if that's the direction they go in? I think the consensus in Memphis is, why not?
Good morning. What a great day to be a Tiger. I want to talk about the young man that I had a chance to talk consistently with the last 3 days. He's a champion. Everywhere he's been, everything he's done his best. He's an Olympian. He's an NBA All-Star. He was the finest high school player in the city. He was an All-American at the Tigers. He has been an incredible coach. And now his next move and legacy is to be the head coach at the University of Memphis. Please join me in welcoming Coach Penny Hardaway, Coach, Memphis Tigers.
Good morning. This is an unbelievable day. I couldn't have dreamed anything any better. Just coming here today was just amazing, just to ride, just to enjoy the journey coming here of starting something special. It's really great looking out in the crowd and seeing all the familiar faces from when I played. It's a family reunion. So we're back to being family. I want to see the Memphis flags waving on the cars. I want to see the t-shirts going again, the hats going again like the old school days, and that's where we want to take it back to. We're going to get after it. And I know that's what we love. We're going to play hard-nosed basketball. Losing is not an option in my mind. It's not. I'm not just coming here to be a face. I'm coming here to make a difference. Good, Keith. Can't do that. Either rebound, get here, or get back. Rebound, let's go, we're going. Give it up. As soon as I got announced around the city, it seems like it was a domino effect of positive energy. Morning. Let's go, baseline. When I took over the coaching responsibilities, Alex was committed to Wichita State and Ryan was signed with UAB. Once the change happened, those guys talked to each other and was like, hey, we'd rather stay at home. And for those two guys to be at home now in a Memphis uniform with me coaching, it's a dream come true for those kids. This is my first class. This is the first team that I'm coaching here. I'll never forget this group. I should be aggressive enough to get downhill to get the layup first. Lance is second. It's a special group because this is how I'm going to start my career, so I will never forget. Not one practice, not one game, not one little thing, one small thing, one big thing. I'll remember this. I'm going to soak this in. All right, hey, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. To be able to get this reward, you got to keep learning. Outside of basketball, which most guys don't get a chance to get. To win 6 championships and then now also be the head coach at the University of Memphis. Not gonna take a swag away from you, just don't throw it away after you do it. It's a reward that, you know, I really thank God for because it could have gotten worse for me after I retired, but it actually got better. Hey, Memphis on 3, family on 6, 1, 2, 3, Memphis on 5, 6. I'm ready for the stage. I'm ready to produce and ready to, you know, get going. I'm not a bragger. I'm not cocky. I'm just confident in what I know that I can do. And basketball is what I was born to do. I never could imagine that Dad's called everything that's happened. Like he literally called the 3 championships in middle school, the championships in high school, and me being at the University of Memphis in 2018. That still amazes me. Truly, no. I didn't think that it was going to happen this way. I really didn't. You never know what God has planned for you. I didn't know that this was planned for me, but it's been a beautiful ride.
Watching Penny grow up, I'm tremendously proud of all of these iterations of his life.
He's Memphis' son. To grow up through a city, then to come back to be the leader, bringing life full circle.
To me, he's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what God told him to do, and that's go back and help those that were like you. Whether you're just a friend of his or a family member or somebody that needs to be picked up, he's always willing to give you the assist. That's who Penny is.
I have a lot of love for him. He was the first guy to put me in position to be, Shaq's a hell of a player. Penny Hardaway, you owe me nothing. I owe you.
I knew one day he would come back and do what he's doing right now.
Penny is this neighborhood. If this neighborhood was a body, Penny would be the heart of it. That's what Penny has restored here. He has brought that heart factor back to the neighborhood. And so everybody feels like they're part of the body.
Basketball is everything to me and the city. Stakes keep getting higher and higher. But that's what I love about the game of basketball. You always have to prove yourself. Just like you have to always prove yourself in life, so I accept the challenge. We got a couple more things that we have to accomplish. We can't get satisfied. Let's go do it.
Yeah.